Ariel Helwani on the beach in St. Petersburg, Florida, alongside Rose Namajunas, who's gearing up for her big fight against Tecia Torres this Saturday night at UFC on Fox 19. Rose, thank you very much for the time. This is a lot of fun interviewing you on the beach. You know, you're the you are enjoying this?
Yeah, the sun is great. I love being, in the warm weather, especially 80s is like my perfect temperature.
So you're the new co-main event.
Yeah.
Doesn't really affect you all that much though, right? It's just a little higher up on the card.
Yeah, if anything, it kind of works better with our, kind of what is it called, like time zone or whatever difference.
Yep.
We stayed up later in Colorado, so we fight later now. But that's the main difference. If anything, I mean, I already felt like we were the main event just from doing all the media and stuff the first couple of days. That it's kind of just I think it's just fitting.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because on my show on Monday, I was looking at the media workouts, and I was very surprised to see that you and Tecia weren't at the media workouts. And then when all these changes happened on the card, figured, well, of course they're going to put you guys on the card or on the media workout schedule now, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And a lot of other fans were surprised about this as well. But I understand they've been keeping you very busy just sort of outside of the MMA media. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did like nonstop interviews. What was it, Wednesday? And then today was definitely a lighter day today, but yeah, it's pretty nonstop yesterday. But I'm glad that we got it in and we got the word out and things like that. But it was a lot of like radio and TV stuff.
Right. So maybe casual sports fans, mainstream,
Yeah,
who don't know.
you can definitely tell like a lot of the people didn't know what they were like.
Yeah.
I don't even think they knew who I was, so it was sometimes a little awkward. But
Do you like
yeah.
those kind of interviews, or is it frustrating at
Um,
times?
It depends. Like, it depends on the mood that I'm in. Like, sometimes I think after a certain point, it just becomes like comical.
Right.
Like when somebody asks you, like, are you guys like bare knuckle fighting and
Oh.
stuff or something like that. But that just goes to show that I mean, yeah, we've made a lot of progress in the sport, but there's still a lot of people that are, there's just a lot of people out there that don't quite know just yet.
Were you doing these interviews with Tecia?
Yeah, we pretty much spent the whole day together.
What's that like?
I feel more comfortable being around my opponent, just getting a feel for them and their energy and stuff like that. But we have a high level of respect for each other, so it wasn't like uncomfortable or anything.
So, of course, longtime fans will remember that you fought her way back when. She gave you your first pro loss. It was a very, very close fight. And I remember talking to you about this potential fight back in December, January, late December. And you were kind of thinking, all right, this is probably the fight that I'll need to maybe get that title shot. Are you happy that you're getting a chance to avenge that loss now?
Yeah, of course. Nobody likes to lose, and this will definitely be my chance and opportunity to go at it again. She's a very high level opponent, so that's just another exciting factor of this fight. I like to challenge myself, and I like to go against the best, and she's right there, and we're right there for the title shot.
I just saw a clip that our videographer Casey shot of both you and her after the Invicta fight, and you were somewhat emotional, frustrated, I think is the better word, that you let it go to the judges, that you took some chances, it didn't work out, and whatnot. Do you remember that feeling afterwards? Do you sort of draw on that as you're preparing for this to not sort of, recreate those same emotions and not be that frustrated on Saturday?
Yeah, it definitely was a learning experience. I think more than anything else, it just taught me to, give it my 100% and give my everything into it every day and try and do my best all the time. And if you give it your best, you have nothing to be mad about. So, yeah, it was a learning experience for me just because I learned to kind of control my emotions a little bit better.
She's won fights in the UFC, but they haven't been the most spectacular
Yeah.
fights. People aren't left, wow, and all that. Are you worried about her sort of drawing you into that kind of fight again?
No, I don't necessarily. It doesn't matter to me whatever she does, even if she comes out more aggressive. Like, if she does, then that will be more into my favor anyway. But we're expecting her to kind of stick and move and maybe have a little bit more aggression, this time, but not quite like drastically that different. But at the same time, you can't expect nothing. You just focus on you and you make sure that you're 100%, and you show up and really that's all you can control.
Have you been told that if you win this fight, you're the number one contender?
No, but like I don't need to be told. I think it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, I'm not like asking for it either. I think it's just gonna happen naturally. Whatever whatever the bosses want.
So you won't ask for it on the mic afterwards if you win on Saturday?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I won't. I never say never. Like, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. You know, afterward, I might just start crying. I might start laughing. I don't know. So, yeah, no plans.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're sticking with the shaved head. You didn't really change it all that much from December.
Yeah, all I did was just like maybe
The
add this
line,
little
which I
design, but-
respect. It's a cool look.
Yeah, 'cause I have like a little scar here or something, so it's like, oh, maybe might as well change it into something like cool. But yeah, every time that I start like growing it out and trying to like style it, it's just like, oh, it's got to go through that awkward stage, and I don't really. That's the reason why I cut it off anyway.
Right.
So, and I like it. It's definitely I think it's fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what happened a few days ago with your dog? On your
Yeah.
Instagram, on Pat's Instagram, it seemed like a major scare here, some drama. What went on, and where do we stand right now with your wonderful dog?
Yeah, she's fine now, 100%. Like, she's having the time of her life out here. But on Thursday, before we left, we were at the dog park, and she's chasing balls and, running around crazy like she normally does. And then all of a sudden, she just, like, stops in her tracks. And in Colorado, they have a lot of, like cactuses and, like, thorns and stuff, and just, like, pokey things in the dog park. So she stopped in her tracks, and she was, like, shaking her head, sneezing blood, and just, like, yeah, blood was all over her legs and all over us. It was just kind of scary and traumatizing at first. Eventually, it slowed down. We took her to the vet, and they flushed her nose. They said, we don't see anything, But I'm like, I don't know. She looks pretty uncomfortable. They said if it keeps keeping up, like she keeps sneezing, then you have to get a scope. And she was sneezing a little bit, but not that much. But I was just like, I don't know. I don't want to take any chances. I want to get the peace of mind, before we leave. So we called around like 100 different places and even made a tweet and things like that because nobody would help us for a scope for her nose, especially like on the weekends. It's kind of difficult to get. But, I don't know, we were really lucky and we were able to find somebody and they took it out and they were like, you got to see this. And they came out of the vet and they were like, look at this. It was like 7 centimeters long.
Wow.
Yeah, and it must have been way up there because they flushed her nose and a couple times and they didn't see anything just from like looking up there. So it must have been like in her eye or something. I don't know. So she could have potentially died or like had an infection or something really bad. So it all worked out. I think it was meant to happen, just to remind me of what's important, and to keep my faith strong that whatever the situation is, it's all going to work out, even just with this whole week, if, things aren't, going right, it's eventually it's gonna be okay.
Was that via Twitter or social media? Did you find someone after you posted that? I'm just wondering how.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think maybe that has something to do with maybe the hospital seeing that or something, was like, oh, maybe we should help them or something. But I think it was literally just by chance that because the second doctor we brought her to, they called somebody. They were like, well, maybe we can see if maybe Monday or Tuesday would work. And I was like, well, that's not going to happen because we got to go.
Yeah.
But then they called back like randomly, like, hey, do you want to do it now? We can do it right now. There's somebody that just walked in and said they'd do it. So we were very happy to hear that news. And yeah, we want to thank Wheat Ridge Hospital for helping us.
That is great to hear. By the way, I'm wondering, have you been watching Dancing with the Stars this season?
I haven't been watching it, but I've seen like little clips here and there. And
what do you make of all of that?
I think it's great. I think that it just goes to show how much opportunity you can get from fighting and just following your passion. I think I hope she does well on the show.
You're
She
rooting
looks
for her.
great. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for her. So
Yeah. Well, after seeing some of your clips and your basketball skills, perhaps WNBA for you, you can use this to parlay. I had no idea you had game like that. Wow.
I don't know. I guess maybe I could. I think after taking a few years off from because I used to play in high school, maybe that kind of helped my game a little bit. I don't know. So I don't know.
Were you point guard, shooting guard?
I was, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
They have a hoop in the gym, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I use it kind of for my warm up and stuff. It kind of loosens me up and gets my footwork going instead of being so stagnant. It gets me to move and jack and jive.
I had a lot of respect for you from your fighting, but when I saw the b-ball skills, the respect went through the roof. Very impressive stuff. Again, always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for doing this kind of off the beaten path. We appreciate it very much, and good luck on Saturday night.
Yeah, thank you.